Today, I'm going to tell you about a very common phenomenon in this modern society and a way to deal with it. So, first of all, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever told yourself that I'll do it after watching this video, or I'll do it tomorrow, or after watching this movie? Yes. So, if you did, you're probably one of millions of others who suffering from I'll do it later syndrome. It's actually a made up syndrome, but it doesn't mean it's not a problem. Uh, so welcome to this presentation where I'm going to tell you how to deal with this. The first thing is I'm going to tell you about is procrastination and its harmful effects. Procrastination is basically delaying or postponing something that you should be doing. And how could it be so bad for your life? Because when you procrastinate, you run out of time to learn properly. And since then, you not only spend energy to study, but you also have to spend your energy to worrying about it. So it's definitely a lose-lose situation when you don't have effective learning structure, but also have a mental breakdown. So lucky you, we have you technique that can solve everything, which is Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is Italian for tomato, and it's a technique that could help you to improve your study or your work performance. There's a man who developed tomato-shaped timer like the one here as a way to for him to manage his time to work. So I'm gonna tell you some of the steps to use Pomodoro technique. The first step, when you start using this technique, you need to shut off all your distraction. For example, your phones, your laptops, or maybe if you have a noisy sibling, you just told them to leave you alone until you finish your work. And the second step is to set a timer for 25 minutes. And the third step is to work exclusively on the task until the timer goes off. The last step, which is the best part of Pomodoro technique, is to take a 5-minute break for energy renewal, and you should really reward yourself. Some suggestion for you during this break time is you should try something that uses a different part of your brain. For example, when you're writing a report or a writing task, you shouldn't use your break to write a post on social media or so on. The best break is to get up and move around, maybe get yourself a snack, or maybe just dance to a YouTube video. And there are some notes for you while using Pomodoro technique. The first thing is stop multitasking. Don't switch between tasks where when you're doing Pomodoro, pick a task and do it until the bell rings. When some people think that they can multitask, they can do many things at a time, but actually your attention can only be on one thing at a time. When you switch your attention to another thing, you waste your mental energy and your performance will be worsened. And the second thing is to focus more on your work. The point of Pomodoro isn't to finish the task, it's just to work as intensely as you can for 25 minutes. So if you cannot finish the task in the set time, is not a problem. Just focus entirely on the work. And the third note is to develop more willpower and concentration. When you start using Pomodoro technique, you may have your brain wanders around and you may not focus 100% on the work, but when you use it for a long time, you can practice and your concentration and your willpower will improve a lot. And there's a way to do this is to pre-planning to avoid distraction. You should make a table with the first column to write down distraction during your Pomodoro time, what makes you distracted, and just leave it there until you finish your task and find yourself some solution to tackle each of the distraction. Cái này cái cô có biết không? And another advanced technique for you to to improve your study or your work is to use active recall. When you receive a text or a range of information, you should picture walk, just read through the text. You no need to care much that you can understand it or not. And the second step, to read with care. You don't need to rush. Just go over the paragraph again if you don't understand, or maybe just underline some keywords or highlight it to understand it more clearly. And the last step, which is the most important step, is to use active recall. Active recalls mean pulling key idea from your mind instead of looking back of the book or the notes. So one way to recall is to read the page and look away and try to get everything from your mind and to get the key idea of the page without looking at it. Those are some information, something about Pomodoro and the advanced technique to master it. I hope you can apply it on your daily life, and thank you for listening.